Hi, Collective. Welcome back to New World Angel. We're going to do something different today. Because I want to spice it up and have more fun. Not that I don't have fun on the day-to-day, but I figured this would be fun in a different way. Because I've already started to pick up signs that I have been pulling on Netflix movies and storylines, not all the time, but I have been. Same with my girl Chelsea. I want to profile a Netflix show or movie, something that has yet to be released. I am filming this on Memorial Day. The door is open. You can hear that. Ooh, I see a wasp. Wasps are good protection. Stingers. I don't know, maybe that's significant, but I want to profile something that is yet to be released on Netflix, but will be released on Netflix in the next month. So yes, I'm filming this on the 20th. No, wow, I was way off. Filming this on the 25th, that's Memorial Day. And yeah, I just want to see if I can profile the storyline. So what I need help from my collective to do is when you watch this, like star it or make a mental note of when I do this reading, because it's not going to be released on Memorial Day. Or maybe I should just release it today. Maybe I'll do that. But either way, make a note of this reading so that you can come back to it and reference it. But if you pick up on what you think I am profiling, comment below in the comments, and I'll send you some sort of gift. I don't know. I'm really doing this sort of last minute. This is my MO. But I'll send you some sort of gift if you guess correctly. The first person to comment the correct gift is who I will contact and send something directly to you. Hold on, I need to kill this wasp because otherwise I'm not going to be able to focus. Maybe that's a part of it. Wasps. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, hi, I'm back. But yeah, that's the plan today, and I'm pretty excited about it because it's just different. And the spiritual community, we need to show out our gifts more, and I'm gonna be the one to do it. So, like I said, the parameters here are, I'm gonna go in chronological order. We want the key details of the storyline in chronological order as it will come out, like when you watch it. And yeah, just comment what you think it is. The first person that comments correctly wins something from me. But it's got to come out. It has to be released on Netflix in June, in the month of June. Okay? What else? Oh, random comment that I was going to address in my Get Ready With Me video that I never ended up doing today. Whatever, I was going to say something about that, but I'm not going to. Shonda Rhimes. First of all, I love you, obviously, because of Bridgerton. But, I have an idea, a storyline idea for you. And if you are interested, please reach out to me at New World Angel. Go over to newworldangel.com and email me. But my thought here is this. Now get it. We, I don't know why I said we. I think it would be an amazing idea if you did, I say spin-off show, but I don't know what it would be a spin-off from. The only thing that comes to mind, obviously, is Bridgerton because I love Bridgerton. But a spin-off of like a show dedicated to witches, warlocks, mystics, healers. So like the undercurrent of like society back in the day. I was thinking initially 1600s, but it could be anywhere between 1600s to 1900s. And my thought here is this, like if you mix it with a Now and Then type movie or show, do you remember the show or the movie Now and Then? Great, by the way. Every woman like revels that movie, and if you haven't watched it, if like you're younger, you need to go and watch Now and Then. It's such a good movie. But anyway, I'm thinking that like the storyline here could be a group of girls that grow up in like modern day, but there's one girl in the mix who has the ability to, she's the mystic, she's the psychic, it runs in her family, and she's able to go back and see their past lives together and like why they continually find each other in each different timeline, and then the beefs and like the storylines and dramas that came up from the past that they're still trying to work through in the future, like in current day. How much fun would that show be? I think it would be awesome. So if you're interested in this idea and you want to expand upon it more with me, I would love the opportunity, number one, just to pick your brain, but also just to like get my ideas out there, because I have a lot of ideas. But you were the first person that came to mind when a show like this popped up in my head, because you have the ability to maneuver between genres and make it relevant. So like people nowadays would want to watch it. Plus, more and more people are getting interested in magic. And I think they need to know the pitfalls of that. And there's a way to do that in the shows, in a show like this. So anyway, that was my quote unquote pitch, if you want to call it that. But I think it would be amazing. I would watch it. Can you imagine all the drama and the beef and the love? Like the love stories that could come about. Oh, so good. And the costumes would be amazing. It is the underbelly of Bridgerton, because it's the shit that goes on behind the scenes, because we all know that people in higher places do rely on mystics. And I think this is a way where we could just show that world. Plus, there hasn't been like a good show in quite some time, since probably Charmed or Sabrina the Teenage Witch, that have showcased magical powers. Maybe even Buffy. Twilight. Oh, it's also a mix between Twilight, Bridgerton, Now and Then, and there's like a wild card genre here that I'm not picking up on. But anyway, I think it would be awesome. Okay. Getting back to the reading. Let's get into it. Let's profile a Netflix show or movie that has yet... Movies would be easier for me to profile Angels and Ancestors, but if it is a series, we can do that too. But what I want out of this reading is that Angels and Ancestors, I want this to be the storyline. So if it is a series, I don't want this to be like one episode of the series. I want it to like showcase the entire series. If it's a movie, then I want the entire storyline of the movie to be profiled here. So, let's see. I'm so excited about this. It just came to me this morning when I was getting ready, so maybe I should have done a get ready with me video, but I didn't. Namely because I feel like I don't have the right setup for a get ready with me, but I'm still doing them anyway. I'm not stopping. I'll have to figure that piece out. But, okay. That's what we're going for, Angels and Ancestors. Don't fucking let me down now. We've gotten this far. It's like, okay. What's it gonna be? We are going to profile the next Netflix show or movie to be released in June. And I did not preview anything that Netflix is about to release. I wanted to, but I did not. So, I don't know if this is going to be an extended or not. I feel like I shouldn't have people pay for this, but then again, maybe I should. What is going on in the Netflix world? Now this is in chronological order, Spirit. So like, because the reason why I want it in chronological order, number one, that's just how I operate. But number two, I think it'll be easier that if you like get the notion as you're watching something, you're like, oh my God, this kind of reminds me of the Netflix show that she was talking about that she was going to profile. Let me pull that reading up. It's from Memorial Day, so remember that. But I want you to be able to pick up, so like on a card that I pull, and then you're watching a little bit more of the show. The next card, it's a progression into the show. It'll be easier for you to follow. That's what I want. And then the reason behind this that'll be helpful, I think it'll be helpful for you guys to make connections between the things that you're seeing in real life to what the cards are saying. That way you can make connections between the spirit world, the energy that I'm picking up on, only to be used, like, so you guys can come back to me and actually rely on me, because number one, you know that I'm a truth teller, and number two, you're able to relate the messages to your own storyline in a better way, a way that translates in your mind, just sort of how it's meant to be, essentially. Like, it's an easier message for you guys to pick up. Isn't that different and fun? I thought so. Okay. Lots of driving. Okay. Maybe the show picks up where somebody is driving. Or it could be a documentary. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. Maybe it's set in winter. It's a winter scene, driving. Because I watch all of my readings over, now I'm going to be on the lookout for it too. Ooh. Awards. Somebody driving to like an awards ceremony, getting presented an award, handing out an award. Some sort of, not black tie affair, but there is some sort of event, ceremony of sorts. An unhealed divine feminine. She's our main character. An unhealthy relationship with food. I get eating disorder. Like anorexia or bulimia. Yeah, I don't, only because of words. It's tied to like somebody being seen and yeah. Maybe they were, maybe this is something that they've always had, is an unhealthy relationship with food. And it like swings, like the pendulum swings. Maybe back in the day they were bigger and then it turned into something over time to where, you know, I don't know, something having to do with that unhealthy relationship with food. The collective is innocent. I don't know what that's about. Maybe there's just like a sense of innocence within this main character. Like I get a sense that this is not like this person isn't winning the award. Like they're kind of in the crowd. And they're seeing all of this go down. Sour Patch Kids, sometimes sweet, sometimes sour. I feel like that is tied to the eating situation. Don't be tricked out of your spot. Maybe vying for a new position? Going out for a new position? International travel. Some sort of opportunity with international travel. Church giggles, uncontrollable laughter. Maybe you're traveling with a good friend, a best friend. I do get good vibes from that. Sour Patch Kids, sometimes sweet, sometimes sour. Maybe that's the friend too. Elegant, international travel. Right next to awards, so maybe it was a black tie affair. That awards ceremony. But I do get like you're traveling to a very elegant place. Maybe staying at high-end resorts. Or needing to go there for a certain event, or even a wedding. What else? Hyper independent. I don't know why I get, but like this is like you get to your hotel or the place that you're staying, and this person like it's like the bellhop, and they want to like help you or help this person, and they're like, no, I got it, you know, like I can do it. But hyper independence, like somebody trying to help somebody and they're like, nope, I got it. That's just like a brief scene, I feel like. What else? Maybe this person is getting set up for murder. Somebody dies. Somebody's murdered. I really hope this isn't a documentary and I'm speaking so like brash about it, but like for reading purposes, this is a fictional storyline. Although it could be a documentary, we don't know. But yeah, okay, so hyper independent to red rum. Apologize to a Sour Patch Kid. This person, the collective, okay, so when I say collective in this reading, this is like the main character. And I believe the main character is being set up or is a suspect of murder. Something about apologize. Maybe this person has like a brief moment of needing to apologize to somebody. Nah, I'm good. There's the hyper independence again. Prostitution. Strange for change. It could be like a passing scene where like they pass by. Ooh, why do I get Amsterdam? It is it's definitely somewhere overseas though. Maybe a prostitute was murdered. At some sort of event? busted. Some sort of prostitute is busted. Microdosing. Right next to red rum. Microdosing. All the trauma and abuse. Actor and or actress. What did I say before? Awards ceremony. Like I felt like it was somebody in like not it doesn't have to be somebody famous, but somebody who does get attention. And that's who has the eating disorder. Excitability. This is interesting. You've awakened, they haven't. It's almost like this person is aware of the crime that took place and the others are not. So maybe like the heroine saw something and not a whole lot of people were around, possibly with this prostitute. It could have been like a crime of passion, you know, like somebody with a prostitute was into some sort of like weird kink, and or that they were microdosing and something was laced and they died in a weird way, you know. I get like, yeah, the excitability factor was more or less a part of like the sexcapades. Passion. That's right next to microdosing. Yeah, somebody has a thing for just drugs. It doesn't even have to be microdosing because I don't have, like in here, I don't have just like a drugs card. I have microdosing. So it doesn't have to be microdosing, but I do get drug intake with a prostitute. Actor, actress, excitability. You've awakened, they haven't. Passion. Okay, spirits. This is a Netflix movie or show. Let's continue on. Rehab, renovation, restoration. That's right next to all the trauma and abuse. So I do get like, you've been tracked since you were a child. Maybe even child actor. And this is going through like all the abuse and trauma that was incurred throughout the acting process, even when they were younger. Maybe this is a documentary. What else in this storyline? And I'll do a refresher too before I get into the tarot. Oh, then we get a plot twist in here. So this person went through a bout of rehab. something that they had been doing for quite some time. Like they were comfortable in this world of like just drug use and prostitution. Or just like paying for sex, like in a location where that's easy to do. Plot twist with a stage 5 clinger. 8th house. Oh, this person is the hero and heroine though. Stage 5 clinger, right next to excitability. Prostitution, strange for change. I get like the pitfalls of that world, right? Like a sex worker being like followed almost. Or like having certain clients that are really... Okay, you know what this reminds me of? And I'm not saying that this is the storyline, but it reminds me of Julia Fox's, her memoir, or the book that she wrote. And there was a point in there where she discussed, she would have regulars. She was like a high-end, I don't want to call her a high-end like prostitute, but like sex worker is what I would say. Which I guess is prostitute, but she called it something different. She would have certain regulars and they had like certain kinks that she was very much aware of and she played into. That's what I get from prostitution, strange for change, excitability, stage 5 clinger alert. Is like so good at their job that, repeat customers. Maybe it's like the life. I definitely get like Julia Fox vibes, but 8th house. And she certainly did. She went to rehab. Her story is so cool. She went to rehab, and the plot twist was that the woman can totally just fucking transform her life like it's no big deal. Like she propped herself up off of the sex working that she did and like transmuted that into the world of like acting and of fashion, modeling. Like her whole career and life trajectory is different than what it started out as. I really get Julia Fox vibes. And I am getting chills all over. So maybe there's something to that. But this also reminds me of 8th house. Death, transformation, sex, others' money. Scorpio, mysteries of life, underworld. Pluto, unavoidable change, resurrection. That woman has gone through some resurrections in her fucking life. Like straight from death. Basically, like death was at her doorstep and she turned her whole life around. That's the plot twist I get. This is very reminiscent of, yeah. And then hero and or heroine. Possibly even heroin as the drug of choice. I am getting chills all over. Julia Fox, are you in my fucking energy right now? Oh my God. I just have to say, my life is so fucking... And she is hyper independent. And I would think that she's seen some crazy ass shit. Especially with her exes that she was like with. I don't know about murder, but I would think that like, with drug use, a lot of her people have died. A lot of her friends have died from like overdoses. And And she did have a lot of trauma and abuse. This is just very reminiscent of her storyline, but I'm not saying, maybe Julia Fox does have like some sort of, in which case, Julia Fox, if you do have a documentary coming out, I would absolutely fucking watch that. But this is like really what I get. If you have read her book, then you would know. Yes, stage 5 clinger alert. She had a psycho ex that would not leave her alone. And like she had to like plot her escape. Oh, gosh. Hero and or heroine. Nah, I'm good. What else? What else is going on in this storyline? This is fun. Julia, if you came to my channel today and you're expecting your own reading, maybe I'm giving it to you, but because I do feel like I'm picking up on your storyline, but sorry, you'll have to come back. Plot twist. What else? Comedy and or comedian. Rehab. Wouldn't that be interesting? A sex worker turned comedian. But, okay, and I hate to keep bringing up Julia Fox, but like she's got such a morbid sense of humor, which I love. She's just very dark because she's seen so much. Because of how hyper independent that woman is, she's been all over the world. She's seen the underbelly of like everything. You know, she basically raised herself in New York. Yeah. And like, there's something, and I said this before when I did the comedian reading a little bit ago, is that comedians, they pull a lot of the time from like a dark place. Because that darkness is what highlights what's actually light in your world. What is the good. And for somebody to go through so much awfulness and abuse and trauma so early in their life, she is one of the characters that, you know, I would think could transition into comedy because she could pull from those dark places. She could pull from her own life circumstance. Who the hell do they think they are? That's exactly her mentality too. She was like, who the fuck is everyone to tell me what I can or cannot do? I am going to transmute the fact that what I used to do in the past was what I used to do in the past, but I also got fucking like really good connections and I made a lot of money from that and I made a name for myself. And who the hell did they think they are that they can like keep me down? That's what I get. 3333 on the clock. Someone is praying for you. Wasn't this her mom or like her grandmother who was like, when are you going to come back to church or like find faith or something like that? I feel like somebody. I feel like this, oh, what a good storyline. It's like somebody sees the light. The lightness after everything that they've gone through. And totally transformed what, like, you know, the world that they lived in to something even greater. And we love a story like that. Eyes. There's something specific about this person's eyes. Whether they like capture your attention and like you can't look away, or they're just like bright and like, you know, you can't miss them. They're unmistakable, but something about eyes is very, very evident with the main character. Speech impediment. Julia Fox. We do. Oh my god. Yes. I feel like it. I feel like it. She does have a speech impediment. Woo! So exciting. I'm crying right now because I'm like, holy shitballs. I'm like, there's something having to do with fine print. The ending to all of this is like the opportunities and the contracts that come from your story. And a need to protect yourself. But this person, because of how hyper independent this person is and for what they've gone through in the past, I think they're very much aware of that. The fine print is so important. Blood makes you related. Love makes you family. Abso-fucking-lutely. She knew this. She couldn't count on her family. That's all she wanted. That's all Julia Fox wanted in her life, was to be able to depend on family. And what she found is like the people along the way and the lessons that she learned, she realized that family isn't always, it's not blood. It's the people that like you love and you cling to, who understand you, who get you, the real you, not the one that like you try to acts of service, not the one that you try to put on for others. You know who I was channeling this morning, and this is so wild. I was channeling her energy because I love Jenna Lyons, and I'm like, randomly, yes, I woke up thinking about Jenna Lyons. But I did, and then I went onto Instagram. Was it last night or this morning? Either way, I went onto Instagram, and who pulls up? Jenna fucking Lyons. Haven't seen her in, I don't know, it feels like months. And there she was in all of her glory, and I was like, this is so fucking wild. This shit is happening to me more and more. But why did I bring that up? Because Jenna Lyons is in that world with Julia Fox. New York, number one. But fashion. That's what I get. So I don't know. There is a connection there. Even though fashion didn't pull out, it's there. I can feel it. Maybe the fashion in this documentary is going to stand out. Imports. Imports. This could just be the opportunities that are afforded to you coming your way. Like if they haven't, where the storyline is going to end in the movie is like what's to come, all the goodness that's to come, the imports that are incoming, the connections, the people, the contracts, yeah, all the opportunities. Oh, this is phenomenal. I don't know where I want to go from here. Hold. Hello, I'm back. This is going to be a little bit of a different reading. I don't think I'm going to... And you know what? Julia Fox is completely different than I feel like a lot of people know. Or give her credit for being. I don't know. The way she like toggles between worlds. When I was reading her book, or I listened to it. It was an audiobook. Which was even better because she narrated it. But I was just so amazed at the fact that like, and granted, I'm sure it wasn't like this for her as she was going through it. I'm sure it was really painful, but seemingly how she was able to toggle from one world and totally plot twist her life into something completely different is something to be admired. I just thought it was so fucking cool that it was just like seemingly no big deal. Like she was just able to like, yeah, this is me now. And I own it and I love it. And I love that. So if you are listening, then way to go, you. It was just really inspiring, and I feel like you need to know that because maybe she doesn't even think that she is like an inspiration to others. Or maybe she does because of her story. That's the reason why she like, you know, wrote a book. But yeah, something about that. And something about this character too, the way they're able to toggle is kind of something to behold. Okay. Comedy and or comedian. I don't know. Someone is praying for you. Eyes, speech impediment, fine print. Okay, let me just do like a real quick refresher here. And then I'm going to pull some tea leaves. So we have awards to kick us off. Did her book win awards? New York Times bestseller, probably. Anyway, awards. Unhealthy relationship with food, which she did have. I know I'm speaking to Julia Fox right now. There's no fucking way I cannot be. And I believe that if it's not, then it's a storyline that is so closely tied to her. And it is coming out on Netflix. So anyway, awards. Unhealthy relationship with food. The collective is innocent. Sour Patch Kids, sometimes sweet, sometimes sour. And that's where her book started too, where it was like her as a kid when she lived in Italy. Between Italy and New York, she would hop back and forth. International travel, then we have elegant, hyper independent. That was when she made her transition to New York. Red rum, because of all the drug use, friends dying. Something about apologize. I do feel like there was a little bit of like survivor's guilt as a part of that. Nah, I'm good. That's where she started to be like, I'm gonna go a different direction here. Prostitution, strange for change. She did get busted. Chain of events that will affect your life. And also whips and chains, handcuffs, smack a little booty over my belt. That's her. She's watching me right now. I can feel it. Oh, it has become so fun for me to figure out who I'm reading for. And again, if you have submitted a request for a private reading and I am doing it publicly like this one, please know I am not managing my own channel here. I have been hijacked and that is being figured out this summer. So stay tuned for that, for my storyline. But this is fucking Julia Fox. The girl wears black and chains and whips, like all sorts of stuff. These are little synchronicities. Okay, moving on with this refresher here. Busted, microdosing, all the trauma and abuse, actor or actress, excitability. You haven't awakened, they have. Or wait, opposite. You've awakened, they haven't. Passion, rehab, renovation, restoration. That was of her entire life. Plot twist, stage 5 clinger alert. That was her old boyfriend. 8th house of death, transformation, sex, other people's money. Yeah, she had to go through a major, like a breakup because, well, first of all, the guy, they just weren't healthy for one another, but it was based on, she got a lot from like this man that she dated in the past, you know, like totally set her up and really like saw the real her, like what she could really do with her life. And I feel like that gave her the boost that she needed to move on, to become her own heroine in her story. There is comedy and or comedian here. Who the hell do they think they are? Someone is praying for you. Eyes are important. Speech impediment. That fucking cracked me up because as soon as speech impediment came out, I was like, there's no fucking way. Fine print, which she did say that in the past, you know, she really needed to be careful and protect herself. Blood makes you related. Love makes you family. Big part of her storyline. And imports. I don't know. What else, Spirit? These are other signs and synchronicities to this storyline. Chains. My spirit guides are funny. People think that like God and spirit like don't have a sense of humor, or, like they stay away from like sex and talking about it. No, they don't. At least my spirit guides don't. You guys know. Flowers, happiness. Yes, she very much is in a place of happiness, or this person is. I do get like chains to the past. Butterfly, a change for the better. That's also the transformation too. That's the death and rebirth. That she's so seemingly just smooth. I get like smooth operator style. Smooth operator. She's a smooth operator. Yeah, for sure. What else? Horseshoe, good luck. She's another person that I do feel in her lifetime, and she would probably say the same thing. When I get a chance to speak to you in real life, you'll have to let me know if this is right. But I sort of, so my claim to fame throughout life, I feel like outside of like my gifts, yes, there's another claim to fame there, is that I feel like I'm Mrs. Magoo through life. Where it's like I seemingly just am able to walk through life. Maybe from the outside looking in, it seems so easy. And it's really not, but certain situations that I have been literally able to walk away from that I shouldn't have been, I Mrs. Magoo myself through it. And I feel like she is, I'm going to make that card actually. She's Magooed her way through life. She would probably tell you there are definitely several circumstances in her life where she should have died. Where she should have been dead several times over. And she is not. That's why your living is to tell your story. Is to not to like bring light to the favor of your life, but to bring light to the fact that like transformation is good, is healthy, is a part of your life's story. Bo, you're highly thought of. For sure. And maybe for a long time there, like, I can see how she would question herself. What else? Other signs and synchronicities. And then I'm going to close this out. Julia Fox, if I actually did a reading for you today, please reach out. But again, this is still tying to Netflix. So even though I've talked a whole bunch about Julia Fox, if a Julia Fox documentary does not come out, that doesn't mean that this doesn't apply. Okay? Kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Yeah. That's the Mrs. Magooing through stuff. It's like, sometimes, like, she didn't have a fucking plan for a lot of the stuff that she did. She just got up and fucking left one day. And people were like, where'd you go? She's like, I'm in a whole nother country. That's what I feel like this is. Like, the hop, skip, and a jump. What did I say on this reading that, like, hopping or something? Maybe that was the last reading. I don't know. I said it recently, like today. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Yeah. Sometimes the plan ahead is like, all I know is that where I am right now is where I don't need to be. And I just need to hop the fuck out of here. Yeah, exactly. Shield. you need to defend yourself. That's the fine print. And for all the, like, you just know the darkness that is in the world. Like, you see the light and the dark. And the shield there is like, I have it if I need to use it. You know, I've been in environments like this before. But that's the beauty of going through such heartache, is that, like, you do have the ability to pull this bad boy out and be like, none shall pass. Chastity belt style. What else? Other signs and synchronicities to this reading. These can also be like, you know, prevalent points in the movie or series that come out too. Chains, flowers, butterflies, horseshoe, bows, shields, kangaroos. Kangaroo would be interesting to see. I feel like that'll be a telltale sign if it actually does show up in a show. Staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. Yeah, she has a group of people, a support group behind her. But also I get, like, in this situation too, that yeah, it's people wanting to help the main person out, and there is a little element there of, like, easing into accepting the help because of how hyper independent you are. I get that completely. Like, I fucking in an apartment I lived in past lives ago, it literally was like Rapunzel's tower. I mean, the stairs were treacherous, the concrete was all broken, and this is how hyper independent I am, and how much I don't plan in advance. You would think I do, but no, I don't. This is the magooing through life that I was talking about. So here comes, like, actual moving day. I'm supposed to move from my current apartment into this Rapunzel's tower type apartment, same subdivision. And so what do? Instead of, like, calling friends, I went to Home Depot and I got myself one of those, like, backpacks where you can carry, like, really heavy shit by yourself. Yeah, I carried a damn washer up 3 flights. No, it was 3 flights of stairs just to get to the landing of my apartment. And then I was on the 3rd level. So 6 flights of fucking stairs with a washing machine on my back. Such an idiot. Like, I literally could have been like, wah! Like, backwards I go. But anyway. And then nobody helped me. There's people around, like, they were walking around. Anyway, it's not their fault. It's my fucking fault. But yeah, I get the staff situation. I think that's going to be, either it was, like, an unusual thing for you, Julia Fox, or it was an unusual thing for this person to even have help at, you know, their disposal, and, like, their reluctance to maybe take the help that was being offered. And then Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assure success. I mean, yeah, when you're at your lowest, because you've already gone through the low of the low, like, you've already found death and rebirthed yourself, plot twist, the ability for you to cultivate, like, strength and peace from within, of course that's going to assure success. That was the other thing, like, with Julia Fox, like, toggling from where she was to where she was going. It was such a big leap, but, like, she was so secure in just, like, herself and, like, her ability to see this change through and to know that it was right for her, that it didn't even seem like a leap. It just seemed like she just, like, you know, this is my new life now, and that's it. And that is something to treasure. That is success. Whether it was actually hard for you or not. So, and possibly valleys, this could be taking place in, like, California too. Maybe that's where this person, like, comes from. It's Callie? I don't know. Anyway, that is my profiling of the next Netflix show. It was a little bit different than what I normally do. It wasn't as geared towards like what you need to work on, but I do hope that we see this in June. That's what I said. So I love you, collective. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for these signs. And then comment below, come back to this reading, comment below if you know what the storyline is. I guess I didn't really think about like, how are we going to verify that this is it? But again, we'll magoo through it together. We'll figure it out. But I love you guys and take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.